Hi everybody, it's Peter Stockdale, the host of the Spin Market Report. Are you looking for a new place to advertise your business? With over 85,000 YouTube impressions and 20,000 total streams across all platforms in the last 12 months, the Spin Market Podcast Network could be the prime space you've been looking for to advertise your business. Get a hold of Spin Market today and see what advertising on a podcast can do for you. Visit www.spinmarketwith2ks.com or email digitalagent@spinmarket.com for more information.
It's the Spin Market Report. Here's your host, Peter Stockdale.
Thanks everybody. Spin Market Report, sitting down today with Nate Moeller. We've got Cheryl O'Hearn in the room today.
Hi,
too.
everybody.
Awesome. I love it. This is fun. Nate, you run Moeller Furnace Air. Yep. You recently had a groundbreaking, and I'm not from Fort Dodge. I saw you guys have started in 1912.
Yeah, we've been around for quite a while. My great-grandfather started the company in 1912, so yeah, over a century.
That's wild.
Fourth generation.
Yep,
Fourth generation. That's crazy. So how did that all start, or what's the story behind the company evolving into now?
Yeah, so, we were basically in the same building since 1915, where we are now, until we move out to our new location. My grandfather moved here from Germany. Him and a business partner started the company right across the street from where we are now. And, over the years they've evolved a little bit, but it's all been in the same location. So, quite a history there. That's
really cool. So what do you think has been maybe one of the key points to your company succeeding for over 100 years? Because 100 years, there's a lot of things that haven't lasted 100 years that people thought would last 100 years.
No, it's pretty crazy to think about. I think just our reputation, we've had four generations, 3 different owners previous to me. Reputation has always been a big thing. So, our quality of work, we thrive on repeat customers. So, in this community, we want to, treat people right, do right by everyone, have them, continue to use our services as the, their homeowners and through their lifespan in this community. So, yeah, I think that's been the key of our longevity, just, doing right by others and our reputation.
Absolutely. That's like customer service, but that's also community as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it just shows that how you've been able to train the next generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the footprint that you've already made and being able to show them, okay, this is already a footprint that works. It's a business plan that works, and it's customer service based and trained in that way.
Yep.
And you have one employee, how many years has he been there?
So he's part-time now. That's Bruce. He's been with us, I think, 55 years.
I think that's what your dad said. It was over 50, but I didn't want to say it until.
Yeah, he's a staple of our company. He's kind of the guru. He knows a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And you can't pass up that experience they have to pass, because you also work with a lot of interns and apprentices. So that's invaluable to them to learn.
Yeah, it's good to learn from someone who's done it for that long. They've seen a little bit of everything. So good to have that experience.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's been working there 55 years. And some people don't even work 50 years.
Exactly. I think the story is that was his first job. I think, he's been there. That was his only job. So, yeah.
That's super cool. I love that. So I understand HVAC has probably changed a lot over 100 years. I couldn't imagine what it was like in, the early 1900s. But how do you guys keep up with the ever-changing, evolving industry that you're in?
Yeah. So when we first started in 1912, that was basically just coal burners. So, my great-grandfather, they were coal stokers, blacksmiths, worked with iron, sheet metal. As equipment evolved, you moved to gas furnaces, then forced air, then you have geothermal, heat pumps. So basically it's just continuing education. We have really good relationships with our vendors. So, everybody that comes in gets trained, continue that training. Which our apprenticeships, that's a new thing that we'll speak on later, but that's something where it's in-house, just continuing education, basically.
Exactly. And it's another way to keep our workforce growing and keep those individuals, because I think everybody is from the area that's on your apprentice program as well.
Yep. Yeah. The goal with that is to bring in young people into the trades and, find them a career, whether they want to be in service, commercial, install. There's different avenues that they can go, but they learn a little bit of everything so then they can kind of decide, what career they want.
Sure.
One thing I got to touch on here, I know we're a little early in the podcast to talk about this, but it's never too early to talk about giving away for the holidays. You're giving away a furnace?
Heat for the holiday giveaway. Yeah, it's something that I've, been in my mind for a couple of years now, and I think it's a good time to do it with our move. We're kind of doing a evolution of the company in general, and we've always been based on, we're a service industry business, but we take the service word a little different. We're trying to service people and be, a part of the community in a way that we're working for others. So, the way that we can give back is with free furnaces. There's a lot of people with no heat, a lot of people with bad situations where, the cost of things is, risen like everything. So, it's something easy we can do, and we want to do this every year, and evolve it over the years. But yeah, we're excited about it, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback. So we're excited.
It's going to be a great tradition for you to start.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me think about, like, there's possibly people with no heat. There's possibly people with furnaces that are just so old they don't function as well, too. I mean, like, that could definitely use an upgrade. We've all seen A Christmas Story. Remember that? Like, the whole the process behind the whole thing was just like he's fighting with the furnace the whole time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, there's service calls we get where we're continuing to work on the same furnace, trying to keep it going, but then parts are discontinued, and then the cost of a new furnace is a lot nowadays. So a lot of people don't have the funds saved up for that, and then you can't be without heat, because it's a safety concern. So we're trying to help out as best as we can.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I guess I didn't think about, like, parts being disconnected. It's like almost like trying to fix an old car or like keep an old computer running or something like that. You would definitely benefit from having a new
and
one.
Things become a money pit at a certain point, and the efficiency of the system is just not keeping up, so then the bills rise. And there's a lot of things to think about.
Another thing I didn't think about, like, not just the repairs, but the efficiency of it all.
Yep.
So what are you going to do for, like, a selection process for your heat for the holidays? Are like, how do people get involved in this if they want to, like, maybe nominate somebody for this?
We were looking for just, mostly just the person that's in the need the most, or the family that's in need the most. So we have a submission form on our website where someone can nominate someone else that they know is in need. So basically the selection process, I'm going to go through all the submissions and try and find one that sticks out to me that, someone's in a bad situation and we can help them out. So, it's going to be a tough situation for me to try and go through all the submissions and, find the one that's in the need the most. But this is going to be something we're doing yearly. Hopefully, as it evolves, we might even do multiple. My plan is maybe, next year to do one for the summer for an AC side of things, to just continue to evolve it.
Sure.
I want it to be, as big as we can with the resources that we have. So, as we grow as a company, we'll continue to evolve this as well.
I can see it now. It's the Great Moeller, summer cool down or something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a name for
another name for that.
Yeah.
Well, and what I could see happening moving forward is getting support maybe from some of your vendors or whatever as well on it. So it could be even a bigger community.
Yeah,
project.
The vendors that we've worked with, obviously we've been in business for 100 years. So a lot of them we've worked with for, decades. So, that's something where I can easily work with them as it evolves and, get some support from them as well.
Love it.
Yeah, that's good. So one thing I had never been to actually was a groundbreaking. Yours was the very first one I'd ever been to.
We did a good job, didn't we?
It was cold.
Yeah, a little chilly out there, but that was a really cool groundbreaking, especially the ceremonial groundbreaking because, since it was a little cold, they brought in, like, I want to say like artificial ground, but they brought the ground inside so everyone could stay warm, and you did a groundbreaking like on site in the building, which was really cool.
That was my first one ever as well. So,
cool.
It was, for being a participant of it, it was really exciting because this is, a big deal for us. We've obviously, like we've said, we've been around for a long time. And when I took over 5 years ago, this was always a thought of mine. So seeing it kind of come to fruition, that's, a pretty cool thing.
Well, I know both your mom and dad were very proud.
Yeah, they've expressed that. I'm happy, everyone's on board. They're all excited about it. All the employees, past employees. We've gotten so much support from the community about it. So we're glad.
Yeah, so you were in the same building for over 100 years then.
Yeah, it's kind of going to be sentimental to move because we've had so much history there. I grew up there. I can remember as a kid running around there. So
How about the elevator?
Yeah,
I keep hearing the stories on the elevator.
That might be a hazard. So
is it still a pull one?
Yeah, it's still a pulley elevator. Yeah, we have a basement with equipment down there. So yeah, it's still used.
That's cool. Yeah. So, like, what prompted the move then? Was it did you just need a new location or like a bigger facility, or what exactly prompted the move?
Since I've taken over as the owner and kind of seen the demand continue to grow. Ever since I can remember, we're always swamped. So, peak times of the year, spring, summer, winter, we could be a month out, so we need to grow, and our current facility doesn't have the room for us to really grow. I want to evolve the company, and have more opportunities, not just for like serving the community, but the people involved in the business itself, the employees. They need to be able to have career growth opportunities, and we can't really do that in our current facility. So, the new facility, it'll give us room to expand and grow, and, it'll be good for, not only us, but the community as well.
Well, it's pretty hard for you to warehouse.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
equipment.
just all the equipment that we need to have on hand, all the warehouse space we need to be able to do our sheet metal fabrication and our work, and then our office space. We just need the room, basically.
And you're bringing up some really good points. I'm sure people don't realize that it's not just the furnace itself that you're doing.
Yeah.
Your sheet metal and all the other things along with it. So
Yeah.
it's a lot more than just bringing in what they see,
Yeah.
with the air conditioner or with the actual furnace.
Yeah, all of our tin work that we do, all of our shears that we have, all the big equipment we have in our shop, that'll be a big move as well, just to get some of that equipment moved out of the current building into the new one. But we'll make it work, and we just need more space, and we need a little bit more room to grow.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts about this podcast is you bring up points where it's just like, it makes sense, but I never really thought about it. Like you said, doing all the tin work and stuff, you could just like bring a furnace, and it doesn't just like, you don't just bring it in and just fit it right in the door and it fits, you have to do a little bit of work to make it fit into the system.
I mean, internally, the other biggest thing with this move is efficiency. So, right now we're kind of, there's a lot of things that have been there for 100 years, little parts and pieces. So inventory control and efficiency day to day with this new building will be a big improvement. So, that'll help us internally. Will allow us to get out to people quicker. Installs will be quicker. Everything will be a little bit more efficient as well.
Yeah. What is the planning and prep work look like when you're going to go build a new building, or when you're
while.
Like you have to find a location, then build it. And then I'm sure you have to design it too, because you're the one that's maybe you said since you were a little kid, you've seen the old building and how you can improve it. You probably had this mulling in your head a little bit.
Yeah. Since I moved back here, basically 3 years of kind of prepping this building in my head, and the process of finding the land took 6 months. There's a couple different options. I was originally trying to find something existing, an existing building. Decided to go with a new build. So then once I found the land, the process of actually designing it, like I said, it's based around efficiency. So our warehouse, how it's kind of spread out, and our racking, our work areas, and the office. I have to keep into account future growth. So the land that we bought, we'll have room to expand if we need to, which is the goal. So, it took a long time, multiple years, and it's still probably, 6 months out from being completed. So I'm excited, just kind of trying to stay at ease and let it process, keep going.
So when we do the ribbon cutting, it's going to be warm this time. You promise.
Yeah,
right?
it's going to be the springtime, so it should be warm.
You had mentioned efficiencies a couple times, and that makes me think, if let's say you move to the new location, everything's a little bit more efficient. Does that mean new services and new offerings possibly in the future?
Yeah. So right now we do, I would say 80% residential work, 10% new commercial construction, 10% residential new construction. So, our demand for our residential services is pretty peak right now from what it has been in the last 10 years. So, in order to keep up with that demand, we need to hire more people, more residential, more service techs. But I'm hoping the plan is to kind of expand our residential side, keep doing what we're doing best now, but then also start doing some new constructions, new commercial projects as well. We do a lot of service work on existing commercial properties, but expanding that as well.
So since we're at Spin Market doing a podcast here, the Spin Market Report, how about marketing? Has marketing impacted Moeller Furnace in any way?
I mean, honestly, from the past, we really just word of mouth was our marketing. My approach is a lot different. I'm trying to take every form of marketing possible. So, utilizing social media, our website, print ads, there's different SEO things that we can do. So yeah, from the past, it's always been word of mouth, which has been great because it's built our reputation, So we've thrived on word of mouth. That's always going to be kind of our top priority, is our reputation and word of mouth marketing. But yeah, I think our our future is going to be a lot different. We're going to kind of take a more holistic approach to marketing.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this yesterday with a different company where word of mouth is amazing.
Oh, it is.
But if you don't hear the word of mouth, you're kind of stuck. You don't know that the service is offered at this location or whatever it might be. So that's where delving into different marketing strategies, like you said, website, social media, and things like that. That'll actually help you out a lot if somebody tries to find you maybe blindly on the internet and they don't know if they're just HVAC Fort Dodge. They don't know what's out there, and maybe they just moved to town and they don't know. Yeah,
it's complex. Marketing is complex, and there's a lot of different strategies. But our online reputation is big as well, not just our word of mouth reputation. So reviews that we have on different sites. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can market, but
it also goes into recruiting for employees.
You kind of just showcasing yourself
That's right.
as a company. So, I'm another big thing with this move is kind of blog posts that we're going to start doing, kind of try to communicate how systems operate to the average homeowner so they can kind of get a better idea of how it should operate, and how efficient it should be, things they can do to maintain it over time. And then just kind of showcasing our work on different social media platforms and past work that we've completed. So people kind of have a better idea of who we are, in the field.
Well, especially with people moving into the area, which we're seeing an influx of that because of new jobs and some other opportunities that are coming down. That's really important because that's where they're going to go online to look because they can't walk by and pick up a pamphlet at your business. They're going to have to go online to find all your information. As well as people that maybe one spouse is coming or a significant other is coming into the area for a job and they're looking for a job. Maybe they were a
HVAC technician or something.
Yes, exactly. And they're looking to see what's out there and your stuff's going to pop up right away.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. As we grow, we're going to continue to utilize everything that we're talking about. And I'm excited for it, the future of our company.
Oh.
Have you found any of these new marketing avenues to be more successful than others, or have any of them really impacted your business greatly in the last handful of years since you've been taking the initiative?
Our website launch, what was that, a couple of years ago? Yeah, just the traffic that we've gotten from that's a good way to showcase our company and kind of our offerings, our, About Us page, kind of showcasing our past and history. So
the previous one needed a little love.
Yeah. I think I created that in high school for free. So I think our new website has a big impact. And then just our reviews that we've had some really good reviews from past customers, kind of just, telling us how they really appreciate our work and how we help them out in such a way, that's another big one as well.
Yeah, I will say that the website made right here at Spin, right?
Right.
It's a very clean website, and I'm not trying to just toot our own horn or anything, but I pulled it up the other day and they even had a pop-up for the heat giveaway, if I'm not mistaken, right on the front page, right when you go to it.
Yeah.
If you guys are looking for the website, it's in the description, MoellerHVAC.com. You can just scroll down and click on it right away.
Type in Moeller, in Fort Dodge, it'll show up.
Oh yeah, it's one of the first things that shows up there for sure. Do you think some of these new marketing strategies kind of helped you maybe realize maybe a move might be needed because demand is higher?
I mean, that definitely is part of it. I know because all the traffic that we've gotten and all the submissions we've had from our website for work, just you can kind of tell as the year goes on, month by month, you can see the increase in, activity on social media and websites. So, I know that's had an impact on the demand. Yeah,
absolutely. So we had talked earlier about word of mouth being good. Community involvement might be one of the best ways to generate some positive word of mouth. And I'm sure that this giveaway of the furnace is not going to be your only community involvement. I'm sure you've been doing it over the years. Has community involvement, how has it impacted your company?
My dad was the previous owner for about 40 years, and he gave back in a lot of different ways, mostly charity donations, to different causes. But, we're going to announce a few different nonprofit and charities we're going to be working with, probably early this next year. So we're excited for that as well. But yeah, this furnace giveaway, I think it's an easy, quick thing that we can do every year, just a tradition to make. And then, as we continue throughout this next year, we'll be announcing a few different more nonprofits we'll be working with.
Well, just the apprentice program that you have as well, with working with both the high school and the college end are huge as well.
Yeah, it's a good way for us to find recruits and a good way for us to teach young people the trades. I think it's a really good career avenue. Obviously, I'm in the trades, so I think our apprenticeship program, it's basically an in-state licensed program where we can in-house train apprentices. It's basically up to 4 years. So they get paid They have a job, they get an hourly wage. They also get 100% reimbursed for their schooling. So it's basically free schooling while getting paid. So we try and, hire two apprentices each year, and continue that. And we work with Iowa Central graduates and people from in the community and outside the community as well that move here.
So let's go back to marketing for just a second, because I want to talk about this, like word of mouth. It, again, is amazing. It's one of the best ways to kind of get your company off the ground, having those positive reviews. But it's not the only thing that matters. Other stuff matters. So what would you recommend to maybe other business owners if they want to increase their marketing efforts? Like, what have you seen that you've done where you're like, this really worked? And I would, if somebody wants to start their own business or improve their business, maybe take these avenues.
Yeah, I mean, the basics would probably be just a website, to have a website, a landing page on Google, so that, if someone digitally wants to find you, they can find you.
And you make sure that the information that's out there is correct when you're doing that as well.
Yeah, and it can be confusing. So, working with a marketing company is great, but as it's all about what you're comfortable with. But the basics would be, just a digital landscape of your website, a landing page on Google, a profile, and then, you can go from there. Obviously, social media is good, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of that. So, start with a website and then kind of whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, social media is great. A lot of people go social media instead of a website, but it's, I will say first and foremost, like if I'm looking for something and there's no website, I'm kind of just like, what gives? Why is there no website? It makes it feel less official or something,
Well, and with social media, it's based on posts. So you're doing one small fragment of information about your business each time. And so if they really want to know more about your business, they're going to have to scroll through the entire, where a website, they're able to ask questions or find that information there in specific areas. So that's where social media is great for posts, but your website is actually telling your whole story in one location, as well as when you're posting, you can redirect them back to the website into that particular area so they can learn more. So it's understanding that each one has a different channel and each one has a different benefit from it. And by putting them all together correctly, that's when you really get that marketing bang for your buck.
Yeah. I mean, that ties right back into what I was talking about, because it's like, if you go to their social media and you're like, oh, this is great, I want to go to their website and find out more. If they don't have one, it's kind of like, oops. And that's your heat for the holidays. It's when you go online, you find the post, which I saw the post organically, believe it or not. And then it's like, well, I mean, it's crazy how it happens. But then it's like, well, I can just click the link. And like I said, there was a pop-up right on the front. It's like, this is exactly what you were looking for, right? This is all the information right on the website, expanded information. And then it's like, what if I want to know about the company? Well, you just hit the X and scroll through the website and find out more about the company right there.
And that's what's nice about the pop-up in that way, is that it's a time-sensitive event, and you want them to hurry up and get their information in on the family or whoever it is that they are submitting. And so it really does need to pop up right away so that they can see it. But you can get rid of it, and then once you've decided who's the winner, then we take it down.
Yeah. So we talked about all these things that you guys are doing: marketing, community involvement, things like that. You've been around for 100 years. What are some other things that set Moeller apart from other HVAC companies, maybe in the region or like in the north central Iowa area? Because I'm sure you guys are servicing more than just Fort Dodge. Yeah,
we work with a lot of the small communities around, pretty much like a 50-mile radius around Fort Dodge. I think it's basically boils down to our experience. We've gotten guys that have worked with us for a long time. I can't even count the number of years total experience that we have as a company. So, I think our experience is what really separates us. But then, like I was talking about with our vendors, our equipment, our vendors is, kind of top line. So we've worked with them for, decades, and the equipment we're supplying, the experience that we're, installing that equipment with, it's just kind of overall what separates us from others.
Yeah. And you can't buy that.
No, it's experiences, you, like I kind of tell people, you can install anything, any model of equipment, but if you're not installing it right, it's not going to work right. So there's a lot of intricacies with HVAC equipment. So it really boils down to experience of installers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're not using something correctly, it just really doesn't, I mean, it's almost like trying to butter bread with like a fork or something. It's like,
Yeah.
you got a utensil and it could kind of work, but if you're not using it properly, forks are better used for something else, so.
Yeah.
So one of the other things I had on here was, how does a company approach like customer service possibly different than other companies? I know that was something that you said was a focal point of your company, having that positive word of mouth, the good reviews and things like that. How do you ensure that when you're going and servicing, maybe a new customer or maybe existing customers?
Yeah. So we actually have a pretty in-depth software that we use internally. So it's a dispatching, scheduling, customer service based software. So when a customer calls, we gather all their information digitally, keep that on file. We can look back at notes that we've had on previous jobs. It's all recorded. The customer gets a text when a service tech is on their way, so they're kind of aware of the scheduling. We give them kind of an hour window there, so it's a little bit better on the customer service side when it comes to scheduling, dispatching, technicians. But then the follow-up and having all the past records of jobs, if we go out multiple times, that's a key thing, so we're not looking back at paperwork trying to find what we did on this furnace 2 years ago.
Right.
That makes a big difference. And again, it comes down to efficiency of our internal operations as well, but customer service is more than just, as you're working on the equipment. It's like I kind of said, we're longevity, trying to keep relationships with customers that we work with. So we want to be, as customer service related as possible.
You bring up some really big points that we've been working with clients, like your CRM, your customer relation management, and keeping track of all the information on it and having it in one place so that if a tech is out, they can actually go in and look.
Yeah.
And not be shuffling papers or whatever.
Driving all the way back to,
efficiency.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I said, our techs have a lot of experience, but if they don't have the data of past work that's been done on the unit, it's hard to really diagnose it. So being able to even look at it before they get there, like, we were here a year ago. We worked on the blower motor. This is what's going on now. We can kind of have a better idea of what we're getting into before we even get there. So efficiency, and then past, bills are sent out digitally. We can also still mail out estimates and invoices, but it's quicker for customers to get their payments and things like that.
Yeah, that makes me think you might also be able to increase the customer experience in that sense, where it's like, well, we've been here last year, the year before, we fixed this, and this. Might be time for a new furnace.
Yeah.
Here's some quotes on one. Doesn't mean you need to get one because we can fix it, but it could help increase customer service in that aspect too, where it makes it more efficient for them or more economically feasible for them.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're trying to, give the customer all options possible. So like I kind of mentioned, the money pit. So if you have a furnace that's 40 years old, parts are discontinued, and we're trying to piece together a furnace, and we can look back and say, well, we've spent so much money working on this furnace in the past 5 years. Here's an estimate for a high efficient furnace. Your bills can potentially be this compared to what it is now. So it's an upfront investment. So we try to give them all the options possible. But having all that data is huge for us.
I love that.
Well, and it plays into what we did this summer. We had to replace our air conditioners just because of the age and the fact that putting in the Freon or the product to make it work was not at a cost.
Getting pretty costly. Yeah.
And so, did we want to spend that kind of money?
Yeah, and there's different tax credits and rebates every year, so I try to explain that to customers. With all the efficiency options, there's basically cutoffs for different government tax credits you can qualify for. They change every year, so that's something to look at as well. When I do a lot of the estimates myself, so when I go out and kind of explain the options, I always try and explain those so they can weigh their options and decide based on that.
That comes back to, you were talking about hiring a marketing professional can help you traverse marketing, because sometimes it's a little confusing. It's not like somebody couldn't crunch their own numbers, but having a professional around makes it so much easier to be like, hey, this is what we've done. This is what you can do. In 10 years, it would outweigh, the cost to just install a new one or something like that, So like you said, it's that upfront cost, but long-term, it's more efficient. Right. Maybe that's something somebody doesn't want to sit down and build a whole Excel spreadsheet and try and crunch all the numbers themselves when you guys already have the ability to do it.
We try to make it easy for the customer, and then they can, at least if they don't do it in the near future, they know what potentially the cost is.
Exactly. So they can budget it in or think about it going forward.
Yeah, I love it. That's good stuff. Also makes me think, like, when you're talking about, your CRM, your all your digitalized data. I mean, I'm sure you do some paperwork too, some physical paperwork on things like here and there, but how much more efficient are you guys now that you, like we said, you don't have to open a giant file cabinet and filter through stuff and get a piece of paper out and look at it and okay, not that one, the next one. And I mean, we still do have some paperwork here too, but all the stuff that's been digitized makes everything so much easier, especially from us to the customer, like you to the client. It makes it so much easier to get the information organized in a fashion that's digestible for everybody.
And being able to have your whole team have access to that information. So it frees up time on your part of addressing that, or even your front desk people or anybody internally there. It just frees it up if they already know where they can go and get that information, makes them much more efficient.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So Moeller, again, over 100 years you've been around. How long have you been with Moeller, working with them?
Pretty much, as long as I can remember. But then I've been an owner of the company for coming up in 5 years in July. So,
cool. So you've got a big, rich history with Moeller. What's been the most rewarding thing? You've only been there 5 years, maybe even like before you were a full-time employee. What was some of the most rewarding things you've seen happen at Moeller over the years?
Well, it's probably the people that we work with on certain occasions. You can kind of tell that, certain people are in a rough spot and we've really helped them out in certain ways. My dad was a really good owner at that. So he was really giving, which is, I'm trying to continue that legacy. He'll help out someone in need, maybe an elderly that has no heat. We'll work overtime at night, and lower the cost, our cost. So I think certain situations like that is probably what sticks out to me. And then now it's basically, like I said, I'm doing a lot of the estimates, so I'm going face to face and seeing people in the community every day. So, seeing people that have known me as a child and, seeing me, grow up in the business, and now being the owner, I get a lot of good praise. So it's nice to see all those people that, my dad was good at talking to people, knew a lot of people. So we have a lot of good relationships in the town. So
I like the community involvement in that. That makes me think this is your first publicized heat for the holidays. It sounds like you guys have been kind of giving back to the community every year, at least since your dad was there,
Yeah. I mean, my grandpa was really good at it. Obviously it's been a long time since then, but I think, this has always been ingrained in us as a company. It's part of our mission statement to give back and serve the community, not just be in the service industry. So, now we're just kind of marketing it a little bit and making it a little bit bigger. So I want to continue this legacy that was, before me from the past owners and my family, and just kind of build it up and see how big we can grow it.
That's got to make you feel, makes me feel good, and I'm not even involved in it. So it's got to make you feel good,
Well, that's what makes our community.
Yeah.
And that's what one of the reasons that we have Spin Market Report is to let people know outside of our community how great everybody is internally, and how businesses like you complement, we've got 5 Fortune 500 companies in Fort Dodge, or right outside of Fort Dodge. And they're very important, but without you and your business, or other HVAC or any small businesses here in the community, they couldn't survive. Those businesses could not function here without your services as well.
Yeah, it's cool because, like you said, there's a lot of different industries here in town that are we're helping to shine a spotlight on with this podcast, and I'm really happy we're able to bring you in here and do this in a timely fashion, so people can know about this heat for the holidays, and
because they need to have it in by the next Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. So this will come out on, I believe, Monday. So this is you'll have about 4 or 5 days of lead time on this. Make sure you go to the website moellerhvac.com. Again, it's down in the description. So if you know somebody that you would like to nominate, because that's how it happens. You have to nominate somebody.
Yep. So
right?
Go to our website, fill out the form nominating someone that you think is in need, and we'll look at it and pick a winner the following week. And again, we'll do this every year, and hopefully we can grow it and do multiple winners every year and do one in the summer. So
I think it's a great tradition.
Yeah,
it's amazing. So looking ahead, what are some of your long-term goals? You've got a move already that you're in the process of doing. We did the groundbreaking out there. That was really fun to go see that in person, something I've never done. But what kind of a legacy do you see yourself leaving behind? Because you talked very highly of your father and your grandfather's legacies that they've left behind. How about you? Do you have something you've got in mind?
I mean, I want to grow this company a little bit so it gives the internal employees more opportunity. I want to serve the community, but I also want to serve our employees. So, building a business to where it allows people growth opportunities and continual growth so that they can better their lives. That's kind of the part of the legacy I want to live. But I want to be able to continue to serve the community, continue to give back as much as possible. The opportunities are kind of endless, but as we grow, I'll better understand, our avenues that we want to get into. But overall, just being a leader, being able to give back to the community and grow a business that internally people can grow a career out of.
Can you name a time in your life where marketing impacted you and maybe you didn't notice until after it happened?
Yeah, I think probably a newer form of marketing that I really don't understand how it works is, you might be at home talking to your spouse and then all of a sudden social media will send you an ad on something. So I don't, they're listening. I don't know who that is, but that's probably a form of marketing I don't fully understand, but I know it's out there.
Yeah, it's that's a weird one, but it's also like really convenient too when it happens and it comes to your benefit. So
and if you're talking about it, it's a product that you might be interested in. So it's just giving you that quicker to look at.
Yeah, I remember I was watching a TV show or something. They were talking about something. I was like, I wonder what that's all about. And I pulled my phone out and I got 2 words typed into Google and it filled out the rest to answer the question that I was going to ask it anyways. It's, how did you know? But that's a crazy part about marketing. They're delving deep into any sort of little microscopic piece of data they can pull out of it. Maybe they're looking into your browser history that's been shared into Google or something. Mm-hmm. You don't quite know exactly how they're doing it, but it's one of those things that it is fun to tap into that, though, to be able to realize that, like, if you have a big enough footprint online, your company can also pop up in those things. What was something I was talking about, how I'd gone so many miles on my car and I needed an oil change. And then the next thing that popped up was just like, oil filters are on sale at this place. And it was a local place. And I was like, that's actually really wild that a local place popped up and not, nothing against like an O'Reilly's or an Advanced Auto Parts or something like that, like a big company, but it was a local place in Humboldt where I live. And it's like, that's actually really cool that this popped up and not like a big box company, So that's something where you guys having a big digital footprint. If somebody's just like, man, I wonder how much a new furnace costs if they get online. Boom, Moeller Furnace could be the next thing that pops up.
If we want to be front facing to any customer, looking for our services. So
we always are saying the internet is your front door, your brick and mortar store now.
Yeah.
And it's how you look and how people find you.
So we've got down here, we're basically at the end of the podcast, but I do want to say one more time, Moeller, heat for the holidays. If you know somebody that is in need, please go to Moeller's website. It's down below in the description. Click it and recommend, somebody that you think is in need of a new furnace, somebody that needs heat for the holidays, because this is huge. I've been fortunate enough in my life that I've never had to go cold in my life, other than a couple times when my car was like stranded out on like a road in the wintertime. It's no fun. I couldn't imagine living every single day where you're just like, my furnace isn't efficient. I have to run my house at 50 degrees because, if I run it, I can't afford it, or, something like that, or it keeps breaking down and it costs X amount every year. It would be so draining every single day mentally to have to deal with that. So again, this is such a great thing for the community. And if anybody's out there that knows somebody that needs a new furnace, that deserves a new furnace, that is, again, definitely in need, go recommend them, nominate them for this. It's right on your website. Like I said, that pop-up's right on the front page, right below, down below. Click on the MoellerHVAC.com link. It'll take you right there. Nate, are there any closing words you want to say to anybody out there?
Like you said, we're excited about the giveaway. We're excited about the growth of our company and the move that's coming in the spring. So, be on the lookout for any other things that we have coming down the pipeline and different, nonprofits we'll be working with. But yeah, we're excited.
For anybody that's curious where you're at, it's going to be right across from Mid-American Energy on the Decker Edition. So
right here
you
in
drive
Fort
back
Dodge.
right here in Fort Dodge in city limits. So very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, all the social medias, everything down below to follow Moeller it's going to be down below in the description. So don't miss out. Just click follow, click like, subscribe, let everybody know that's where it's at.
Yep.
Nate, I got to say thanks for taking time out. Obviously, your busy day. This is your busy season. It's cold outside.
Yeah,
right
I have a lot of work to do today.
So.
I'm glad you invited me. I'm happy to be here. So thanks again.
Well, thanks for carrying on the tradition in the community. We really appreciate it and looking forward to many more years.
Yeah.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.